Kind of figured this was a long time coming. But I think it's about time we start this grind. Hello, everybody. This is Law of Tsunami. And this is going to be a bit of a project. The end goal is to make it from one, starting with nothing, as a new character, to max level and complete the main story quest on stream. Not going to be very fast, mind you. I'm not trying to speedrun any of it, so I'm planning to voice act / make sure that everyone gets to experience the story. But for those of you who are still on the fence on the story and want to experience what all the hype is about, strongly recommend you check this game out. I know that the typical spiel of, it has a free trial and everything like that, it still applies and everything. So if you are interested in this, I strongly recommend giving it a shot via that. But don't be afraid to give it a go otherwise. Okay. It's been a few days since I last streamed, so I'm going to do my best to give you guys an entertaining kind of thing, and as per usual, if you like what you're watching, please feel free to drop follows, drop likes, whatever have you. I'm planning on doing this Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, if not more, but sticking with... Oh, dang it. Completely forgot to change the Go Live notification on that. My bad. But still, turn off viewer counts on my end so that I'm not staring there about number go down. Whew, okay. But yes, thank you again for being here. And I hope to give you a good idea of why I love this MMO. I've tried almost every single free-to-play MMO that I could get my hands on. Not any of them stuck to me as much as this one did. 1 second. Okay. Oh, and some cool things that have been going on since we last was streaming. I am in the process of getting a custom sounds transition in the vein of a engine transformation from like tokusatsu stuff for transitioning between scenes, which I think is fucking rad. One step forward on the VTuber kind of progress, because it is a step-by-step process, and it definitely do be very, very, very intensive in terms of planning. But it is fun, and I'm definitely having a blast doing it. Oh, right. I should probably do that real quick. Finish up my advertising real quick. Sorry this is taking so long. Send to... Okay, so to give you a rundown of what Final Fantasy is, it is arguably the most let me try that sentence again. The biggest competitor to World of Warcraft out there in the massively multiplayer online MMORPG genre specifically. It is done by Square Enix, as you could imagine, because it's Final Fantasy, of course. But it is arguably the best Final Fantasy out there for a whole number of reasons. It has plenty of its hustles and problems, as everything else does, when it comes to it being a MMO. But as far as this game goes, it's probably my favorite, just because of the amount of work that has been put into the game by the developers. All right. Apologies if you hear dogs in the background, by the way. Yep, we're gonna get started. As a reminder, I'm also going to be baking this character on Balmung on the Crystal Data Center if you want to play along with me. I will be playing with a lot of our friends that have characters on Crystal, on Balmung specifically. As long as you have a character on Crystal, you are more than welcome to join in. And you'll be able to see a few of my other characters in the process, but we're going to be making a new one to start from scratch. Here's my main, for example. Ralph Bell, who my avatar is mostly based off of. But in this case, we're going to be creating a new character. And I have a few already pre-made. Some of these are characters for roleplay that I haven't gotten a chance to actually use. But this one at the end, Kazumi's partner, this is the one we're going to be using. And he does look a bit silly. Well, silly is an operative term. Because, yes, I am playing a Catboy. Why is he so short? He is a Catboy with VK hair, but honestly, I kind of love him that way. Might darken his skin just a touch. 1 second, getting a message. I need to modify that again. But yeah, character creator is pretty good. We have a choice between 6 or 7, more aptly, character races that you can pick. I'm going with Makote. Hey, Destiny. Thank you for hopping in. We're starting to play Final Fantasy XIV. We're doing a run of the main story quest, and it's going to be a long series. Like, the main story quest takes a very long time, but I'm happy you're here. As far as I know, there isn't anything that is not safe for you to watch. I will let you know if anything does come up, but they handle things pretty well. So, you're good to go, and you're free to chill here as long as you want. Hope you're having a good day. Let's see here. Right. Character races we can play as. The Makote here are cat boys and cat girls. We also, if we so choose, there are the Hears, which are humans. We have Elezen, which are elves. Lalafell, which are they're akin to dwarves in a sense, but not quite the same. Makote, which are cat people. Rogadin, which are, you can equivalence them to orcs-ish, but not quite the same. Yes, of the Aura, which are they're, people think of them as draconic, but they're more just like lizard folks that have like scales for horns. These horns are their ears as well. And yet we also have the Hrothgar here, which are big. What is the race? The Char from Guild Wars 2, and the Viera, which are bunny girls. Each one of these are pre-existing races from the Final Fantasy series. The Viera are also getting their male counterpart in the next update or in the next expansion. Female Hrothgar are being worked on, but we have no clue as to when. I'm gonna go with the Makote. Once you select a class or select a race, you can pick one from 1 or 2 clans. In the Makote's case, there are Seekers of the Sun and Keepers of the Moon. Seekers of the Sun are the diurnal clan of the Makote race. Their preference for the warm light of day pervades all aspects of their culture, as is apparent in their devout reverence for Azima, the Warden, Keeper of the Sun and Goddess of Inquiry. They are perhaps best for their striking eyes, the result of their vertically aligned pupils and faintly colored irises. Also not uncommon for the eyes to be disparately colored from birth, a trait considered suspicious among their kind. Seekers tribes can be found throughout the Eorzea, with large concentrations appearing near Limsa Limits and the Sagolio Desert. The starting attributes don't really matter. They are negligible at best, and by the time you start putting time into the game, not really a big deal. So effectively, most of these are aesthetic choices and choice between different groups of emotes. I'm gonna go with Seekers of the Sun for roleplay purposes. Already did a bit of a rundown of his actual appearance, and the main thing I was making for him is that most of the time Seekers are more along the lines of being the desert folk and everything like that. But they also are very, 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 very tribal. Not so much in my guy's case, but that's gonna be lore that we can get into later. And yes, by the way, I'm the kind of player that tends to make character lore for everything too, because I like role playing. Right, we're gonna already saved appearance data. You can pick our character's date of birth, which is not really terribly much, except for, hey, what looks cool, so I'm going to go with November 1st. Our patron deity, which also is just for aesthetic more than anything else. Technically, I should go with Azima, but he's a bit different, and I think, if I remember correctly when I was doing it, his is Althic. Maybe. Well, let me look again. Like, there's basically 2 gods for each element. You have ice, water, wind, lightning, fire, and earth. And there's a male and a female counterpart for each of them. This is literally just background lore that we're not going to have to pay too much attention to yet. It's going to come into play, I think, with the new expansion that comes out. But we as players actually don't know too much about it. At least I don't. I'm going to go with just Azim. Or actually, no. I was going to go with Althic, because that's what I made for. Alright. And now we get to pick our starting class and where we start in the game. Where you pick your starting class dictates what town you go to start, but you can travel to all of them pretty quickly. Now, in my guy's case, or in my prior character that I made max level, what I did was she started as a archer in Gridania, the forest city-state. But in this case, give me a second. I'm just checking everything. Give me a second. Brain. Come on, brain. Work with me here. There we go. Forgot to do that. Okay. Sorry. In my prior case, I've done some of these classes, but the cool thing about this game is that also I do not have to make a new character to try different classes. If I so choose, can make new classes or try all the classes, max out all the classes on one character, which allows me to get attached to them and more vibe with them as I like. In the case of my character here, I believe what I decided I was going to go with was Marauder. Marauder is a combat specialist whose weapon of choice is the Great Axe, a fearsome arm emblematic of Eorzea's pirates. Eorzea is the world we work in, by the way. Their approach to battle is one of brute force, relying on strength and steel to crush enemies and sunder weapons. They are highly sought after for the ferocity and intimidating presence, and are often employed to hunt down monsters plaguing the land, or to turn the tide of battle between warring nations. And this part right here about Limsa itself is a little hard to read, but I'll try reading it out for you. On the southern coast of the island of Vilbrand, under the shadow of ancient cliffs warmed by the relentless onslaught of the Rotanos Sea, lies the thalassocracy of Limsa Lominsa. Its economy is driven primarily by shipping, but boasts lucrative shipbuilding, fishing, and smithing industries as well. To maintain the safety of its maritime routes, the city employs a formidable navy known as the Knights of the Barracuda. Even so, pirate bands run rampant in nearby waters, raiding and pillaging. Now, Marauder is going to be a tank class, and we're going to have a few options for what classes we can start with. A few of the people that are going to be playing with me, or who definitely want to hop in on it, are going to be playing different classes than me. And so one of the things we decided was I would like to tank, because I've been getting better at tanking, actually. So for starting a completely new character, I'd like to do this. And we're not starting in Goblin. Instead, we are starting in Balmung. Now, I picked Balmung specifically because it has the absolute majority of the players on Crystal, because it is also the roleplay hub of the world. That being said, if you'd like to try this game out and you don't want to be on Balmung, that's also fine. If you're into roleplay, it's usually recommended to go at least on the Crystal Data Center, which is the East US kind of data center, Because if you use any of these, they can also hop into other worlds via a thing called World Visit, which I'll show you guys later. In the meantime, however, let's make his name. Arzenma Tia. Yes! Cool, I did not actually expect that no one took that name. Here we go. And there's people in queue, which is fine. But the queue is actually pretty quick. But as a reminder, this game has a free this game has a free trial that is not time limited at all. You can make an account for free, hop in, and play all of the main quest up until level 60 out of 80, which includes all of the Realm Reborn and the first expansion, Heavensward. I know you've heard this spiel many a time by people who are also fans of it, but it is worth talking about if you like what you're watching and you want to try it yourself. It is fantastic of a game, even if you don't pay a single cent for it. But hopefully by the time you get far level 20 or so on, you'll know whether or not it's a game for you. And if it's not for you, then you don't lose any money. It is available on PC, you can get it on Steam, PS4, or PS5. Not a problem. If you do decide to give it a shot, Destiny, let me know. I'll be able to help you with, getting used to the world at large. And I have plenty of friends that'll be willing to help you too. Turn the audio on it up a bit. In the context of this makes that scene a lot different now that I've played through the game. Oi, you alright, lad? This. You're moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Rolling the ship got your stomach churning, has it? Don't seem like sickness now that I look at you. It'll be the 8th then, I reckon. Some are more sensitive to this stuff than others, see, and we ain't too far from Vilbrand now, which is chock full of aetherites. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. We appear to be on a boat. Ugh, might as well have been blooming sickness. Ship sleeping around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out on deck, get myself a breath of fresh air. Solominsa's still a fair way off, in case you're wondering. Seeing as you're awake and all, how's about you keep me company till we get there? These youngins don't care much for conversation, see? Oh, they're gonna care for conversation later. Any road, Brenna's the name, and peddling's me trade. Yo, can't stay right now because I have to do dinner. Perhaps I'm leaving with a lurk. Well, thank you very much for the lurk. I appreciate it. Ah, smell that salty sea breeze. Now then, lad, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? If you mean when you get your first bit of dungeon content, I'll gladly come along. I will definitely do so. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. Love you too. What was it that first attracted you to it? What did I become an adventurer? Gain power, win glory, amass a fortune, or no answer. I'm gonna go with glory. To win glory, of course. Glory, eh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks as other folk ain't, an adventurer such as yourself can win fame what coin can't buy. When you arrive in town, you'll want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about the adventuring business in there. Just remember, though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can do the voices. Ships out to starboard bow, pirate colors. Pirates? Bloody hells. Have you no sense? Get below! I also love the writing they do for this game. It is fantastic. What is the world coming to? Pirates firing in on a ship flying laments and colors. Bastards either have a boatload of balls or bugger all for brains. You can rest easy, friends. We've made it out of cannon range, and no buccaneer's bark will catch his floody temptress once the wind's in her sails. That was too bleeding close. Glad one of us kept his head on his shoulders. I reckon I've lost mine otherwise. If them pirates give up the chase, we must be close to port. Let's head up on deck and have us a look, shall we? Sadly, we do not get to pilot one of these boats, at least now, but this may change. By the by, is this your first trip to Linsa? Personally? Nah, not really. Thought not. But I wager there have been some changes since your last visit. Allowed a journey itinerant to apprise you of your current state of affairs. Limsa prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. Weren't too long ago that the place were ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current admiral's civilizing influence, the city-state could almost pass for a respectable nation. You never guessed she was once a rum-swilling buccaneer herself. Of course, most folk ain't so quick to change, and with a town full of liberty-loving ruffians, you can imagine how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with. Like them pirates who took a fancy to us just now. And if that weren't bad enough, I've heard the Sahagin are raiding the coast just as bold as you please. Them are the sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, in case you didn't know. Ah, at long last. Land ho. Behold, Limsa Lominsa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty and beloved of Lemlayan, goddess of navigation. Of course, Razemma has already been there before. I think this one's not voice acted.
On a windswept isle in the southwestern corner of the realm, amidst the roiling waves of the Lotama Sea, lies the maritime city-state of Limsa Lominsa. this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Lim Lane. What realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
There's our boy. And here's where we part ways, son. I'm up to the markets to deliver me wares, then it's on the high road from me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for saving me ass earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the story personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square. I love these folks. There's one for every city you start in.
Hardship, discovery, and triumph. May the navigator guide this brave soul on his life's voyage. Till sea swallows all.
Its starting dialogue is so silly, though. I love it. And thus begins our grind. I like to remind the audience that this is going to be a hell of a grind. This is not going to be something we're going to clear in a few streams. I'm willing to bet that this is going to be something that is going to take maybe 100 episodes of like 4 to 5 hour streams. And that's if we're lucky, and I don't get distracted by life skills or anything like that. But this is Limsa without all the PCs in it, yep. I'll do a description of what to expect with everything. Or at least try to. And I'll do my best to explain the mechanics as well. Hey, you there. I mean you. This is my district and I'm making my business to know all the scum that washes up in it. Ah, adventure fresh off the boat, is it? Well then. Allow one of Liminsa's finest to set you on the right path. Up to it, lad. I haven't got all day. Alright. Welcome to Liminsa, bustling city state full of scoundrels and brigands, the rough cut down the Rotano Sea. Please select the control scheme. I'm going with mouse and keyboard. Yeah. I have done all this part. No thank you. Kill that. And give me a second to move some things around so it's not so terrible. Because the baseline hotbars for me are going to be driving me up a wall. One of the cool things about this game is that it has built-in hotbar management and everything like that. I think WoW has some of it, but not quite the same. I think you need modding and stuff like that for it. Alright, and put a third one up here, but we're not going to have things that need it for a while. Give me a second. I also have a lot of emails in here, but we're going to worry about them later. You can move this as you see fit. I'm just moving it so it's a little bit more comfy for me to look at. I tend to put everything close by to each other so that I don't have to see everything at the same time. I don't need to worry about alliance list, but I think I'm going to put that down here. Beast gauge is something I'm going to have to put down here. To-do list is my quest bar. Focus target's fine. That's fine. Limit gauge, put down here. Not going to need to worry too much about it for now. Cross hotbar, for your reference, is the hotbar you can use when you plug in a control pad or a gamepad. This game is actually practiced and designed to work with gamepads by default. All right, get rid of this. Move that up there, and get rid of that. I only have one skill, heavy swing, but we're going to talk about that later. I need to go get rid of that. Active help. That's not the thing I wanted. Character configuration. Direct chat's fine. Oh, actually, no. Never mind. Take that off. Where are you? Lines. Show limited, show limited. Because this is gonna like turn into a cluster of like animations on ours. So I'm going to keep an eye on everything, and I'm trying to find where the active help stuff is. Bruh. Screw it, it's fine. UI settings located under character config. Go away. Do not display action help. Thank you. There we go. The main flow of the thing is you get quests, do them, and get rewards for it. Pretty simple. Now then, I'm sure you're itching to explore, but adventurers are required to register their presence in the city. And without a bit of local knowledge, you'd like to get your throat slit in some piss-taken alley. So before you do anything else, get yourself over to the Drowning Wench and enroll with the Adventurers Guild. It's not far. Just head down the street and speak with Greffer. He'll show you how to work the big moving platform with Claw the Crow's Lift, and then he'll take you up to the pub. Once you're there, look for the fellow by the name of Baderon. He's the proprietor of the Wench. He might curse like an ill-sodden sailor, but the man's got a soft spot for wide-eyed newcomers like yourself. He'll set you straight. Got all that? Good. Now run along and make the navigator guide you on your journey. Yep. Did I not do that correctly? What the hell? UI. Display action help. Active help windows. There we go. Okay, cool. So we're not going to see any players until we're done with this little tutorial right here, which is fine. But once we're done with it, I'll show you just how many players you can expect to run into. Welcome to Linsford Laminsa. If you mind to visit Drowning Wench, the Crow's Lift will take you there. Yep. This little sprout above my name just tells I'm a new player, so people usually refer to them as sprouts, but also I'm sorry if I don't get voices quite well. Great to see you, lad. What'll it be? But you ain't here for the drink, are you? You've come with in mind to try your hand adventuring, I reckon. Well, you'll find no shortage of work here in Limsa. Name's Baderon, and this most hospitable of hosteleries is the Drowning Wench. It is also the home of the Adventurers Guild here in Limsa. I got a desk specifically for handling guild business, and why I seem to spend more time saving the necks of whelps like yourself, rather than wetting the throats of me regulars. Adventurers have a knack for finding trouble, see? Not that they need it in these parts, on account of there being trouble wherever you look. If you manage to steer clear of the fishbacks and the kobolds outside the city, the pirates on the inside will get you instead. Yeah, they don't manage. There's always the Guardian Empire to finish the job. Oh, no one knows what they're planning, of course, but if they're planning anything, you can be sure it's to kill the lot of us. Aye, this town seems peaceful at a glance, but look again, and you'll see people living in fear of what tomorrow might bring. And who can blame them after everything that's happened? Eorzea took a mighty blow during the calamity, but our homes weren't the only things what got wiped off the face of the existence by that thrice-damned bastard of a dragon. Took our bleeding memories, too. And no one's been able to explain it in a way that makes nonsense sense. None of the folks with soul and live to tell the tale seem to agree on how the tale actually goes. 'Tis all foggy, like recollections from an ardent eye on the ale. You can imagine why people might fear for the future if they can't rightly recall the past. But there is one thing we all remember, and that's the group of adventurers who laid down their lives to drag Eorzea back from the brink when she was bound for the abyss. Well, I say we remember. Truth is, though we ain't forgot what they did for us, these goddamn calamity-spawned memory loss robbed us of their names. Well, you even let us picture their damn faces. It's like staring at us go flying in front of the sun. All you see in your mind's eye is a shadow set against a blinding glare. That's how every bugger describes it, by the way. Give or take the odd gull. It's this what's got people calling these heroes the Warriors of Light. That's us. Excuse me. If Limbs is ever going to put this time and darkness behind it, it's going to need adventurers to help banish the fear. It's going to need new heroes like the ones we lost. Maybe one day you'll be one of them. And that's why any aid we can give to adventurers is effort well spent. What say you, lad? You willing to lend us your strength? Me thanks to you and to the navigator and all. I knew she'd steer you in my way for a reason. But listen to me yattering on like a sun-touched fishwife. 'Tis high time we got your mark in me book. But your scroll right here. It's a Mattia, is it? And a fine name it is. Congratulations, you're now an upstanding member of the Adventurers Guild. You there, adventurer. You sailed in on the last ferry, did you not? Hold on. Hello. Glad to see you here. The captain reported being attacked by a pirate vessel, and several witnesses have testified independently that a passenger matching your description went out on deck mere moments before the incident took place. Sending your friend signals, were you? Hold on just a moment there, officer. You got the wrong bloke. This fine, outstanding young gent's my dear departed grandma, sister's niece, cousin's closest companion. The lad wouldn't be caught dead fraternizing with such unsavory elements. Is that right? You are surely aware of the recent kidnappings. Respectfully, then, we cannot be too trusting of outsiders at a time when the loyalty of even our closest friends is in doubt. You make a good point, officer. A very good point. Very wise. You needn't worry, though. I keep one eye open at all times, me. I saw you and I said hi. I'm not ignoring you. Keep one eye open at all times, me, and two more often than not. Now, sir, what you say to a tankard of me finest ale before you return to your duties, huh? I'll wear down a cup of piss like last time, I should hope. Ain't got the faintest idea what you're on about, officer. The wench might offer some of the cheapest grog this side of the Strait of Malthor, but that don't mean it won't get you good and pickled. And look, there's a chair over there just crying out to be sat on. So kick off them heavy boots, huh? I was about to be arrested. It's hard to tell. You always talk about money. I do not despise you that much. You'll have to excuse these eager, bloody yellow jackets. There's been a spate of kidnappings, see, and they ain't got a clue who's behind them. Naturally, they've taken to clapping irons on anyone who looks vaguely suspicious, which means adventurers, visitors, and pretty much every bugger else in this town. Don't take it personal, though. Us lemons can be a headstrong bunch of bastards, 'tis true, but given time, we'll grow on you. Now, where was I? Oh, hi. Welcome to Linsa Laminsa, where the seas as green as the faces of my patron. I'm sorry. If you'd like me to stop, I will. I'm sorry. If it was the joke that was making you feel... Okay. Now I feel bad. Take a moment to gather your wits, and we'll get started with learning the ways of the city. Alright. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. Taking your first step as an adventurer in the city of Limsa. Listen well to the wisdom and battle on 10 fingers, then go forth and discover the incredible adventures that await you. Jesus, that was fast. Hold on. There you go. Now, are they gonna make me have to run back or this, or can I actually, like, talk to them? Oh, Jesus, I do have to go and talk to them. Bit premature for you to leave, don't you think? Or have you already heard everything the shady bloke behind the big desk had to say? So you should know it's only polite to spare a moment for the need. Like the Lalafell lass at the table who's staring at you right now. Alright, fine. Well, jeez. Alright. These are the baseline quests we're going to have to take care of while we're in here. Alright then, let's start you off nice and easy with 3 tasks that will help you get used to life here in Limsa. We're not going to stay here that long. Firstly, if you head out on the floor, then point your nose to the west, you'll get an eyeful of the great glowing crystal in the middle of the courtyard. That's on the other right. The device what can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no such a way to travel, provided there's an eighth right where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with the yellow jacket on guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device. I literally only started streaming 2 months ago. Don't believe me. Before you do that, though, remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your adventuring bits and pieces for sale in the district what lies beyond the Aetherite. Don't go throwing your gill around just yet, though, or you'll get fleeced quicker and then you can say, where's my coin purse so late? Have a word with Sluzzblade instead. Alright, head out. I might come back, but I'm gonna go for now. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Destiny. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Have a word with Sluzzblade instead. He's the head of the Merchants League, by the way. Give him this old Octant, and he'll treat you well. For the last time, be helpful hints, I suggest you meet some fellow axe wielders at the Marauders Guild. Guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for swinging the ad splitter of yours if you join their crew. Platota on the front desk is the one to get you started. Got all that, lad? Seeing to them 3 tasks will take you on a little jaunt around the city and help you work out where everything is. Now that best be getting on. Run along, eh? Bugger it. There I go, sending you off with telling you somewhat crucial. Blade Calamity's made a right mess of memory, I swear. Well, there the Yale. Anyway, while you're out, if you happen to pass the Poor Sods would look like they might need your help, considering giving their tale of woe a listen, huh? Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what interesting opportunities could be lurking out there, just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Ninia over yonder's been casting glances at you since he walks in. Why not lend an ear and see what she has to say? Honeypop speedrun is... I'm not very good at Honeypop, actually. Also, I'm not good at speedrunning. You'd like to find yourself running on errands in the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a man folk can trust, the jobs will get harder and the rewards more generous. If you had the time, I'd also seek this advice of this... Wow! Bro, I am just trying to do my job. How dare you? If you had the time, I'd also seek the advice of the smith here in the wench. The lads is bearer of the title have some fine advice for them on what just starting out in the profession. And that, my lad, is how you go about becoming a legend among adventurers. That guy. They all have green coats and everything. We're going to hear that tone a lot. To leave the drowning wench, you must accept the quest making a name by speaking with Ninia over here. Yes, I know. Hi, Ninia. Well, would you look at this? A shiny new adventure. Listen close, lad. I have some information that might just help you put you on your map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall below not long ago, and such a bunch of herb and twist sensation walking along the common folk. I'm having my extending down and being among the lessers. Okay, alright, royalty, okay. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think they might have been the black market, or is known as Dream Flowers. Limsa Laminsa is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow in across the street are above board, if you know what I mean. How the plants end up in the business mast? Who knows? Might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak to Skenrail and she'll get you down to the first floor. Now all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to Aldskiff at the Octant. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such shady goods. Alright, fine. This is just a operator attendant. Have you seen a better streamer? Yeah, me. Get dunked on. I mean, there's Pogo Racer, there's like Black Cat, and some other person named Garnet Rose. I mean, I'm trying. These quests are going to start pretty simple, and like I'll definitely mention that you're not going to be expecting like technically you're doing better than me. What do you mean? Yes, I'm Alt Skiff. You have some herbs you wish me to examine? Yes, as you suspected, these are the highly illegal blooms from the dream flowers. They are the prime ingredient in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is led to lull the sniffer's mind into the sleep of death. Of a single stream. Well, you can work on that. Forgive me, I could not resist a jest. These herbs are not more than all thick lavender, a common enough export from Limsa Laminsa. In fact, these probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, son, but not to worry. You've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. True, true. Alright. Now, thankfully, we don't need to do every quest. Since if you stream that your name is... No, not really. Where am I? Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting I'm on Balmung, so I'm just like, why am I seeing so many people? I mean, that's... If you want that to be part of the joke, go for it. Alright. Another novice adventurer. I bet around a set more than a few of your kind this way of late. Big dude. I'm Sindabal, one of the Yellow Jackets tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance in the use of the device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of Aether. I feel like that's going to be a bit cringe if you call your fans news lovers. I don't know. I find that going to be a hard like sell to make to Twitch. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of the name will wish to seek out and attune himself to each one. Once you've expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you'll soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. These are basically our save points, you could think of. There is, however, no need for some unseemly haste. The Aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. Thank you, random dude. You tune with the Aetherite? Now use the return spell. Also, neat thing that this game does, the more entities that are around you when you load in, the more that the background would sound actually active. Quite nice. Now I know most streamers when they stream usually cover this part up for the chat, but I'm gonna hold off on it for now. Now most everything here that you're seeing, these with the blue names, are other players. Some of them look really cool. Some of them look just as silly as I do. You'll see that at least on Balmung, it's got a really interesting kind of thing where you'll run into people that, like this guy. Or this person named the character Elizabeth Warren. You can right click on them and click on examine to see if they have any information on them. They have something called search info. Most role players tend to use it as a really quick rundown of their character. These are the marker boards, we'll go into that later. I love that fucking afro. Fine evening to you, sir. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the Grand Realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all four corners of the world. Pray browse the stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate upon the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo but recently arrived at the docks. No. You better get from Badron. Whatever could it... Ah, my Octant! By the navigator, I must have left it behind in the winch, along with a week's play and several bells worth of intoxicating memories. Rusted Octant, an instrument widely used in maritime navigation. This one appears to have been a victim to the elements. That would actually attract skinheads, and I don't know if you want to be associated with people that do that. I'm most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid, and what better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant. As simple as sturdy and simple adventuring equipment you seek, you need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Lest you doubt, each gil you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that the Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will... Now you're just going to get people that make videos in their car. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light or your time is short. But verbal instruction of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets for yourself. We're not going to need to do that, thankfully for you. Basically, we're going to be trying to focus on the main story quests. Anything that has this symbol right here, we're not probably going to do, unless there is a plus sign next to it. Plus signs usually are indicators of... Hello, dogs, I can hear you. Plus signs are indicators that what you're going to do is unlock actual... Give me half a moment, actually, real quick. Apologies. Girthia Boys is a lot better. There you go. I'd say Girthia Boys is a lot better, personally. But yeah, these are going to be things that we're going to be here are going to be using only for a little bit once we're like getting started, because we only have 103 gil. But before we get any further, I'm going to go really quickly and run and go get some of the pre-order stuff I got. It's going to be incredibly useful while we're leveling. Otherwise, it's going to be a hell of a long time. And as much as I love this game, leveling just plain is a lot of time. So here's those, like these ones, for example, the one with this little plus sign on the side of it that has a little lock on it. Those are the ones we want to like look for if we're going to be trying to do more content. These will hide raids or dungeons or whatnot. Pardon me, whatnot. Anything that had that little like crown of flames around it is the main story quest, and that's what we're going to be aiming for. If you post that, oh my god. Actually, wait, hold on. Give me half a second. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be heading over to not here, but over there, where I can actually look for that sort of stuff purely because I want to know how much you justify without sounding like a liar. Now that's valid. That's completely valid. Usually I find that pulls me into a whirlpool of, well, and then not really explaining anything successfully enough. Also gonna pull these real quick. These Ethernet shards allow us to teleport around the big cities. Now have access to the Ethernet. Quick travel throughout the city can be achieved by simply placing your hand upon the Ethernet shards. That's why you see people like port so quickly. Olympsa usually is pretty chill. That's where most people hang out when they're not in character. You'll see people role-playing here occasionally, but for the most part, this is usually the out-of-character place that most people load into. Alright. I'm Moogle. Greetings, all. What a delivery, Moogle Kupo. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Moogles are supposed to hide in trees and avoid contact with outsiders. Why ever would they agree to carry about letters? Why, indeed. If I had my way, I'd be curled up under the canopy of a nice rain. Oh, dreaming about some beautiful Moogle with a rainbow-colored pom-pom, Kupo. Most people like my mate. They like him in the vein of, how do I put this? I feel like they like him ironically. Or that he makes them laugh because he's, silly. That's not really a good reason for it, but still. But no, the moon had to go and drop from the sky, causing all that terrible commotion. Aetherites were shattered and link pearls rendered useless. For moons, the poor wingless people of Eorzea had no way of communicating with each other, beyond screaming at the top of their lungs, which no one really approved of, Kupo. That is until the little horned ones asked us to assist them by delivering messages. At first we were wary of showing ourselves, worried that one of you might catch and skin us like you do every other forest furry. Once we saw how much of them we were appreciated, we knew we found our new calling. I personally promised to try and not read any along the way, Kupo. What we have here, 20 new letters. But Kim, I find that the people that really support Kim Jong-un are pretty cringe on their own, right? Oh, I have to do that. Dang it. Alright, so I've been playing this game for, I want to say 1,800 hours, and I want to say years and years and years. So I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to blow through pretty quickly. Need this specifically. And I need to delete that too. You might be asking, why am I going through all this? Is because these are actually important drops. Some of these items are going to be things we're going to definitely need to have, including stuff that raises the XP we get. I don't think anyone likes Osama bin Laden. At least not that I'm aware of. These gold chocobo feathers are promotional material, and I usually keep an eye on them, but I'll see what we can use for them. Keep doing this, blah, 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 blah. These are for recruiter friend campaigns and gold chocobo. Oh, Vlad the Impaler, he's cool. Most people like him because Lamau, now we're going to leave that there. Leave that there. I don't think I'm going to need any of that. All these ones here are veteran rewards, which if I stay remain not logged in, subscribe to the game for a long enough period of time, I get these costumes. They're level 1, can be put on anything, but I'm going to keep a hold on them. I'm going to take that, however. I don't really need to go get them yet, and they're going to take up more inventory space than I'd really like to use. This is useful, the Friendship Circle and Wind Up Aetherite. Aetherite Pendulum, sorry. Because these also stack on one another, too. That's Cloud costume, not really in the mood for that. That's a Wind Up Nanamo and a Fat Chocobo head. Nah. Skip that. It's a Wind Up Gilgamesh in a picture, no. Nope. That's useful, however. I'm looking for specifically the mounts, the wind-ups, and the barding. And trying to see if I can clear as much of these as I can. And this is a Cascadier uniform voucher, and I think those are used primarily for getting swimsuits and the like, but I have to take a look at it later. Still gonna like clear this out so I have more space. And a Fantasia. That's important. Incredibly important, and I'll get into why in a second. Because those things cost real world money. Clear this all out. I'm gonna leave the costumes in here. Not gonna worry about it too much. I think I got all of them. I think I did. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, I got them all. Oh, hey, never mind. This is the Aetherite Earring. Yep, take that. And the Falcon. Okay, cool. Now, why these are important. This costs real world money. Oh, it's blocked your face from mana. Why did you do that? What was the purpose of that? We're gonna be using all of these to get little minions. I want Anna to hate. I thought you said you wanted everybody to get along. Alright. I'm gonna be using all these to get them out of my inventory because we only have a limited amount. I feel like I've been lied to. But we're going to be using all these to get them out, and we're going to have a host of mounts and minions. Unfortunately, we can't use these mounts immediately. We explicitly need to, I don't remember how to do that. Support any nearest, any friend who's on online status as a new adventurer. Fair enough. Good, just keep using these. I mean, that is something I would do. True. I'm more disappointed in you than anything else, but you know. These potions are not going to be terribly useful, but they're good to have, so I'm going to put them up here. And this should be all of our stuff, but we are not touching this Fantasia. Basically, this Fantasia allows us to free appearance change, like from top to bottom, as much as we want for one time only. These things cost money. It's usually a good idea to hold on to it. Let's pay tribute to me. Nah, I'm good. I don't pay tribute to people who like explicitly do terroristic acts like that as well. Alright, where am I going? Oh, right, Marauders Guild. Okay, we're going that way. Oh, right, and one more thing. I'm going to show you the character sheet. It's where all of our information still goes on. Most of this is not going to mean terribly too much. However, we want to run this because a lot of these are going to be incredibly important. Because the Aetherite Earring here increases XP earned by 30% while level 70 and below. Attributes and item level vary according to class and job and current level while equipped. This is going to be incredibly important. Also, this friendship circle increases XP earned by 20% while at level 25 and below. We have a little tiny feather in our hair, a little Aetherite hanging off, and not much change, thankfully. So this is the way we need to go, I think. Nah, I'm good. I'm just going to make a great nation of my own. Like, that's just too much work. No, I don't like serving overlords. I've already been through that for 100 years. I don't want to be through more of that. That's too much work for me anyway. So, interesting thing to note is that this is supposed to be the place of the Marauders Guild, and at one point was planned to be the Musketeers Guild. Give them this sign over here. However, the Machinist Guild was moved into Ishgard due to reasons I don't remember. You can talk to her. Oh, there, adventurer. Curious about the Marauders Guild, are you? I wouldn't know. I mean, someone has to lead you, Ants. I lead myself, thanks. Any axe worth swinging needs 2 hands off in the haft and has a blade what can make short work of a galley's mast. That's the kind of weapon our members train to use with deceptive swiftness and all too predictable force. Are you interested in hearing more, lad? Then why don't I give you a short version of the guild's founding history and we can go from there. All started with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for timber. It's only the navigator herself knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm or worse. It makes sense for the crew's carpenter to carry an axe on board. It all started with shipbuilding and ship repair. What, am I boring you? As I was saying, any tool on the ship can become a weapon, and the axe was perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in the whirl of steel, and generally laying waste to all about you. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates, where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to the new recruits, and that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. Once the Galadian Accord was signed to unite the Maelstrom and the pirates against Limsa's enemies, the whole game changed. The Accord itself was a dismal failure, of course, but the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirate elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of the new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats neither, and warriors who used to use their martial prowess for the good of society. If mastering the axe is what your hearts desire, then you'll find no better arena in which to practice your swings. Think it over, then let me know if you fancy joining our ranks. I'll be seeing more of you soon, lad. I mean, yeah, I have. So to swing axe with the Marauders then? Yes, please. All right then. All that needs doing now is speak to the axe master himself. Sounds simple. I've seen folks slink out the door rather than put themselves in the path of that unnerving glare. That's the look right there in the middle of the room. Wernzone's name. Put some steel in your spine and look him straight in the eye when you talk to him, lad. Good fortune to you. This person right here. I might blow through some of the smaller ones, but Yes, I'm Wernzone. Axemaster, they call me. Not the most imaginative of titles, I agree. I want you to not underestimate the value of directness. I welcome your interest in our guild. There are the Marauders used to rend, to cleave, and to destroy. It is not our way to simply outfight our adversaries, we seek to overwhelm them. Marauder must be the most powerful and enduring presence on the battlefield. He must account for the most enemies defeated. Our role in combat is that of a steel whirlwind, dealing death and destruction without equal. Now that the question has already been put to you by Platoda, but once more shall I challenge your commitment. Are you prepared for the bloody carnage that awaits the initiate of the Marauders Guild? Yes. I am always prepared for carnage. Very well. Your name? Attempt me well then, Razema. Hold fast to this moment of dedication. The path of the Marauder is a jagged and perilous one. The blood that spills at your feet will oftentimes be your own. Stand now as a student of the axe. Let us waste no time in testing the edge of your chosen weapon. You shall wade straight away into combat as befits a novice of our discipline. Go forth and slay the bleeding, slurring, crawling pests that plague the outskirts of Limsa. Here's our beat 3 rat asses. There's going to be a lot of this, but you know. Lost Williams, wharf rats, and little ladybugs should be your piteous adversaries this day. Return to me once 3 of each creature have fallen to your blade. Alright, I'm going to see if I can speed this up a tiny bit. There we go. Because this isn't the interesting part of it, but I'm going to definitely see what I can do to get through this as quickly as possible. Especially this is where our leveling is going to start coming into play. See, normally we would only get a certain chunk of XP, and XP is kind of hard to come by. We just start out, but the earrings and the circlet over here give us a significant XP bonus and more of the important damage and everything that we need. So we're going to be getting that much faster. Also, don't call your fans whiteys. That's cringe. So let's report in the Battaron and get some more stuff off of that too. There you are. Enjoy your jaunt around the city, did you? You mean to base yourself in Limsa, Laminsa, that won't be the last time you'll visit them 3 places. And now you got some idea of what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You shouldn't get an ear for listening, lad. Stick with old Battaron and you'll go far. If I remember correctly, we need to do a little bit of leveling until we get to level 4? Yeah. But hopefully in the process of this, we'll be able to, yeah. We're doing level 4, so hello, friend. What do you want? Fool me once? Level 4. Okay. Good to know. I could do the smith yet, but I think I need to get to level 15 first, and that will give us a free set of decent armor for everything. Way of the Marauder takes us to... Oh, not going the right way. Go downstairs and then to the left. What is this guy wearing? Oh, Jesus. Fair enough. Sorry, what? Is guild is named Critical Role? Oh my god, it is. What the fuck? Nice. What I just checked is their free company, which is your equivalent of guilds in this game. Free companies are pretty cool in their own right. Give me a second. Moving that box down here. There we go. There are basically player-run guilds. If you see a tag after somebody's name, that's basically what they are. How do you have an RP tag on already? Hold on. Ma'am. Oh, you're actually pretty far along. What's going on and why don't you have... Okay, fair enough. You know what? Do your thing. Hop off. Right. Not that way. We're going this way. The only problem is that we run a lot. And we're not going to be able to use mounts for a bit. So, the first part of the game does grind a bit. But hopefully in the process of doing the Way of the Marauder, we're going to get enough points to be able to get through it. Right. Because we're already at level 2. It's not going to be terribly difficult. We just need to start slapping rats around. Again, we only have one skill, and that's heavy swings. But we do have auto-attacking. So it's right at the beginning. Combat terribly complex. That is fine, however. There we go. Interesting, important thing to know is that you'll be doing damage slow tick during auto attacking, but most of the time you're going to be rolling through your skills as it is. So if you're wondering why you're not doing an animation for extra damage you're doing, that's probably why. If I chain things together, I also get more XP for it. So I'll try to do that. Let's go find more ladybugs. Also get drops from them, of course. There we go. Get one more ladybug. But yeah, we got like 80% extra experience if we do them with all the materials on, thankfully. There we go. And then we return back to the guild. Return has a cooldown time of, I think, 3 minutes, but we don't really need to worry too much about it. Let's just save in it. The Marauders Guild. It's kind of nice coming back to this and like doing it this way. It's nice and simple. I can focus on. Who's calling me? I don't know anybody in Kentucky. What the hell? I'm getting a lot of calls from people from places I just don't know. Alright. You return to me a different man. Already your face shows a harder cast, the realization of the slaughter of which you are capable. But there's much training to be done before you will wield the axe to its fullest potential. Learn well your lessons, build your strength, and make to swing an instinctive act. You shall have this hunting log to aid you in that endeavor. These pages are marked with opponents, suitable for honing your skills. There are, of course, myriad methods by which you might improve your techniques, but when the way forward is not readily apparent, the log provides a reliable source of challenges. Every blow of your weapon will clear another step towards the mastery of Marauder Way, implaceable, I think. Pardon me, relentless. Such must be your momentum in both the practice grounds and the battlefield. So these are basically every 5 levels or so. Then we're going to be able to move on to the next quest. We got our new combos. These are basically our 1, 2, 3s on it. I'm not going to mess with the actual keybinds yet because I I don't think there's gonna be a need for that yet. But should you need it, there are keybinds switching, and it's pretty freeform. Thankfully, though, with this, we actually made just enough XP to move on to the next. And we are going to also hit these, because the food you make also gives you XP bonuses too. So, gives us bonuses to our stats as well. And so I'm using it, but XP right now is our biggest thing we want to grind. We want to make sure we're at least doing this on a pretty stable run. You look fucking cool. Oh, you're a weaver. Nice. Alright, on to Summerford, where we can start getting our first actual things. Still in Limsey, are you, Rezema? How'd you fancy a trip outside the city walls? Like it is an orchard by the name of Summerford Farms. Ever heard of the place? The owner, Stelwern, is an old mate of mine. He's got himself a crew of mostly reformed pirate sites, if you can believe that, and he has been trying to bring a bit of life back into the fields after Calamity ruined the soil. He mentioned needing another and or two, and your name sprang to mind. I gave you the glowing recommendation, so make sure you work hard and impress the old bastard. Need directions? The place ain't hard to find. Just take the Zephyr Gate out of the city and follow the road northeast. Yep, we're already there. Nania also will give us free stuff too, so I'm going to do that. Well, you've returned. I hope you don't harbor any ill will towards me from my earlier deception. You see, I believe the most important lesson for a green adventurer is to learn that they should always question the motives of everyone he meets. If I'm good at events, allow me to make it up to you for some advice. Tell me, have you visited the eyes outside Temmus Gate and past Madman Bridge? The sentry station that keep watch over the road, and when trouble arises, they sometimes turn to outside help. Wish to make a name for yourself as a trustworthy adventurer? You should speak with Encrida at the eyes and offer your assistance. Here we go. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Jobby? Yeah, that works. I'm doing this specifically so I can actually get the clothes out there going, because there's going to be a next quest that's going to ask me to get new clothes. These days, poor Baderon's so busy looking after others, he hasn't been able to look after himself. He deserves something for his efforts. Whenever he's in his cups and starts speaking of the old days, he never fails to mention Aurelie. Seems he and his mates used to eat the creatures on occasion. Those are jellyfish. Zabi, he still has fond memories of the life, so I'm thinking if Aurelie umbrellas might be something he'd appreciate. Can you help me by procuring for them? If you're willing to help, spoke with Kundro by the Aft Castle. She knows where various wild beasts congregate. Okay. Man, put clothes on. Never mind. You have earned your right to not wear clothes. Thus is the only other problem of this server is that there's a ton of people that are unreasonably horny. I may be pretty reticent to like roleplay on stream yet, but there is definitely a non-0% chance that we're gonna have to come across people that might be up to nefarious deeds outside. Baderon actually likes Aurelia umbrellas? God's never even considered trying to eat one of those foul things. Nevertheless, if it's Aurelia you seek, you ought to find plenty by the river just past the Tempest Gate and to the east. Is this Tempest Gate? No, let us not do that, thank you. I don't think this is Tempest Gate. I think this is Zephyr Gate. Oh, this is Tempest Gate. Sweet. Well, thankfully, all of our quests lead here. But while we're here, we're going to do a little bit more killing of tiny creatures that did not deserve it. Because those little symbols above their head are knowing that they are on the hunt log. The log that Baderon had mentioned earlier. They're not really required, but doing them really doesn't hurt this early on in the game. Because the benefits they give off of clearing parts of them make the effort and pretty worth it. Any option we have of making the grind easier is going to be something we want to do our best to lean into. There we go. Pretty simple. And it is small amounts of XP, but the XP does add up over time. But thankfully, like, you can tell whether or not enemies are going to be, like, actually hurting you or whatnot. We're not going to worry too much about them. There's also these things called fates, which are, oh, is somebody actually doing them? No way. Someone's actually doing fates. Nah. They're time-sensitive quests, basically. and have some really fucking good music. We're looking specifically for... Yeah, we're looking for these, I think. Like I said, we're mainly doing this just so we can, like, make some progress on getting some of these. We also, of course, get XP when we fight things that are bigger than us, etc. so forth. And those also count for our hunting log entries as well. So, couldn't hurt. Like I said, this is going to be grindy as fuck. I'm gonna leave that fate alone. There we go. Takes care of that. Just gotta keep moving. It's not gonna be terribly like I said, not gonna be terribly complex. So a lot of this is gonna be talking about my experience with the game so far. Yeah, so say someone told you to come to me for Lurk, lad? I'm afraid you've been had. We're known to hire adventurers, 'tis true, but we always go through the Adventurers Guild. Even if I wanted to assign you duties, Yellow Jacket's regulations prohibited me from doing so directly. Now, if you don't mind working in an unofficial capacity, I have a personal request I can make of you. What does that mean? Hey. My granddad's head of the Red Rooster's dead. Anox's his name. He asked me to bring him some river toad livers, but the mere thought of pulling slimy livers out of slimy frogs gives me the shivers. Maybe you care to fetch liver 3 for me? Yeah. Before I forget... Equip new pants. That person is currently doing botany stuff. Life skills are fun. However, we're probably not going to be doing that immediately. Botany's fun. And I love how they do all the life skills in this game. But, I find them, strangely enough, really hard for... Really hard for me to stick with? I don't know. I don't think I've ever been put in the right brain space for it. I may be dumb. Also, neat thing that this game does... neat thing that the game does is it doesn't really waste your time too much with, like, defeat things until you get 3 drops. It's no, just defeat 3 things. We're assuming you do the rest of it off screen. It doesn't matter that much. So I can do the dumb thing of running around and just punching things as much as I want. There we go. Ah, jeez. Sir. Those signs are AoE symbols. Pretty self-explanatory, thankfully. I don't have that much I can heal with right now. I'm just trying to, like, keep my eyes out and not get myself in too deep with things. Jesus Christ. Sticky tongue is a looking long ass thing. When you're starting out, it's definitely not as heavily reliant on items or whatnot. Just, you know, progression as fast as you can. And they don't try to, like, waste your time or anything like that, though. Or more aptly, hey, there we go. More aptly, they're not gonna sit there and make you do inane stuff unless you really want to. What they're provided is nice, but, like, most of this I'm doing for the gear, so we don't have to do it later. Or I have to buy it. You're a lifesaver, adventurer. Now I just take these livers to Granddad myself, but I can't just up and leave my post. Not to mention the mere sight of the slimy things makes my stomach churn. Mind delivering them instead? Find a landlock at the Red Rooster Stead, and you can turn these river toad levers into go. Well, I like go. I love how it went. I can't really hire you in official capacity yet. You know, unofficially, could you help me out with this? Also, death to all these dodos. Where's that guy? Oh, that. I thought that was a guy, but it's a signpost. I'm dumb. Like I said, I'm just trying to clear through this and like get as many levels as I can to make the job easy. Because the more like side work I do later, the less I have to do it then. Like so. Berserk. Is that the time limited? Yeah, it's time limited. It's both critical and direct hits. Okay. That is a status, which I put up here. So slowly we're going to get more skills and everything as we keep working. Oh. And thus the dive of, oh my god, there's so many of them here. This is leaves. Oh, this is where the heart is. We're not going to worry about that, actually. Maybe later, but not now. Where the heart is basically, hey, you have player housing. This is how you get to it. The last time I said a granddaughter of mine fetch river toad livers. I mean, yeah. Hey, it's livers I asked for. I should have known better. And Krita has been dainty since she was a wee lass. I regret any trouble we've caused you. I heard that the New World has used fish livers as fertilizer, so I thought we'd give toad livers a try. A farmer can't be afraid to try new things. Nay, he must grow his knowledge as he grows his crops. Pardon me? That's how this farm grew to be what it is. You do well to stick around and see. I don't know why I'm reading out, like, side story things. Money. Food! Hauling wool. Okay. Sure, fine. I've actually never done this quest before. Not that they're, like, terribly, like, fancy quests or anything, but, you know. Still couldn't hurt. It's nice and comfy, I would say this game is. Or it's really, really, really something I'm able to sit there and just play. Turn my brain off. Put music in the background or whatever I feel I'm up to, I suppose. Oh, Tiny Mandragora, they're gonna kick my ass. Like when it starts off, it doesn't start off with too much. Like what it does start off with is really nice. And it's incredibly pretty too. Oh no. Well, let's see how much ammo this gives me. Not too bad, not too bad. Alright. I'm gonna leave that alone for the time being then. Sif Abysswalker has decided to punch a Goobo over there. Which is cool of them. Blah blah blah, do the delivery. I'm not gonna voice every side quest. I feel like that's gonna be a waste of time for y'all. But all of these are still useful. That's a hat. Do you have any stuff? Nope, that's for... Okay. Eastern is... I don't know. I forget. Bloodshore. No, but it's Costa del Sol, and I'll snag one. I'll snag a thing for Costa del Sol for sure. Oh, this is level 30, of course. around level 30 is when we're going to start getting the ability to get a lot more of our stuff, including having mounts and everything. We need to earn that, apparently, so it's going to be a lot of running. But while we're here, might as well get to Costa del Sol and learn how to teleport. Because our return will allow us to bring us back to a place we save. But teleports between things will either cost money or Aetherite tickets. So, while you're in an area that you don't have Aetherite, you should probably pick one up. And admire things. But don't punch anything that has... Oh, God. If you see that symbol next to the large buffalo's name, that means it is an aggro on site. I don't remember what the rules are if it's like a way higher level than you, but, you know. I'd rather not test it. This is Gegaruja Manor. Usually a lot of the players will use this as a bit of a hangout slash event area. I've been to a lot of places that have run beach parties here. Quite nice. We're mainly snatching this so we can get return or teleport. Silence, wench. I did not wish to be horny. Ah! I'm gonna leave these people alone. No! I keep seeing people like, oh yeah, we're role-playing, and I just keep forgetting, oh god, wait a minute, hold on. Alright, this is all level 30 stuff, right? Yeah, it's level 31. I'm nowhere near that. I can sell all this stuff, but like... it's not really worth selling yet. Not until we get return, or... what's it called? Not until we get... retainers. Which we can sell them on the actual lot market boards. Like, we still need to earn those too, but... Also, you need to be careful about what people's names are sometimes, because you may run into guild sellers or gold sellers, which, as you'd imagine, are just spam bots. That is a look. That's a fucking look. Oh yeah. Oh right, bad run. This game allows you to make really, 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 really pretty characters, and I love that. Like, honestly, I think one of my main problems with WoW was that I could never make a character that like looked the way I wanted it to. All the girls were really lithe, and all the guys are really stocky, unreasonably stocky in my opinion. And I could never really make somebody that was as androgyne as I wanted. It kind of felt like I was wasting my time. There we go. Who the fuck? Red female dog. Hello? Okay, anyway. Concerning. I was like, you didn't have to go through all this trouble. Why would you ask me to get that for you then? What was the point? Ugh, dickhead. There we go. This is the armory chest, which stores all of our stuff. Yes, I look silly. Don't bully me. Yep, yep. Go get a mentor. I'd rather not. I'm not bothering with that, honestly. Novice Network is alright, but it's definitely a lot of work. Alright, Summerford needs to be lower decks, I think. Yep, lower decks. I think I might be able to snack. Oh, wait. I'm a dummy. I need to go get the Marauder quest. is my palm itchy? Well, that was fast as hell. Damn. When are you gonna play classics in like year one Tsunami games? What counts as that? Like, what do you consider a year one Tsunami game? Because even I'm confused on that one. Put a shirt on. Ah, here we go. Yep. Yep. I'm gonna see if I can stick to just voicing the main story quests, honestly. Games you played back during the first year you started streaming. This is the first year I started streaming. Is that the joke? Alright, is that the joke we're going for? Yep. Blah, blah, blah. Like, if we're talking about the games I first started playing, I don't know. When I feel like it. I only got so many hours in a day, and I don't want to spend as many as, like, 24 out of 24 hours, you know. This is your 10th anniversary. Oh, Jesus. I'm old. I'm also being gaslit. So this place, fucking rad. That's the Bismarck. This is the Culinarian place. Quite fancy. Quite nice. As you could imagine. Not used as much as I'd love for, you know, role-playing purposes. Oh, look at them. They being cute. What are you dressed in? What are you dressed? Oh, it's Ironworks. Alright. Rock game. Where are you? In the middle. Okay. Yep. That's what I thought. Report. RMT. Yes. So unfortunately, not that much you can really do about them. Just blacklist them as you can. All right, Summerford's over here. Right. Okay. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not punching fish in the river. That's a bit too much for me. Hello? Oh, right. Oh yeah, important thing about mounts now is that where we're at, they have unlocked flying for basically all of the Realm-born areas. So once you have a mount, you can just fly around. Which means the grind for a lot of this is going to get a lot simpler and a lot quicker. Right now, we're going to just need to just work. Thankfully, I think they've trimmed it down a lot with the things you have available. I have to eat again. Hold on. Give me. I think I can double eat for a full hour. Yes, I can. Yep. Just hit rock. Okay, I can do that. It's pretty easy. Where's the last rock? Oh, hey. B. Ah, there's the last rock. Okay. apparently I can just swing and beat rocks to death. I'm down with that. Back when you first started swimming, you were a woman that had a French accent. Oh, you mean Paradise Killer? Not really. That was when we were doing Paradise Killer and we were doing voices for the characters because there was no real voice acting. That character specifically was French, and that would be my friend Blake who was doing that voice. Blake's cool. Don't get me wrong. That just was not me. I'm not as good as I want to be when it comes to voices. I think it just takes practice, and I really haven't practiced on it much. There we go. God, if I had been streaming for 10 months or 10 years or 10 months and I was only getting 3 or, single digits, then I'd be worried about if I'm good at this. A little harder with that heavy swing. Hello? I just did. Alright, fine. Blake had wanted to do the One Last Kiss accent, and he did, thankfully. He's way better at doing voices than I am. Reminds me, I hope he's able to get his computer all ready to go. I know he was having difficulty with that earlier. Ma'am. Okay. We can go back now, but we're not. Hell yeah. I'm instead gonna go to Summerford over here, get that, and then port back. If we were gonna outgrow this equipment pretty quickly, maybe even faster than we level, so we may be actually on our way pretty good. So again, if you're new here, feel free to browse around the VODs that I have, and if you like them and like what you see, please feel free to hit follow if you haven't already. If you also have the money to spare, and or if you are a member of Amazon Prime, they give you a thing called Twitch Prime, which allows you to subscribe to people for free. You can get 1 free subscription a month, blah blah blah. If you've been watching anyone that streams, you know this spiel by now. But yeah, any support is definitely appreciated and welcomed in this neck of the woods. There we go. Wait, did I already get my magic aura thing then? Okay. Ow. Yeah, this game is arguably like something I've put a ton of time into, and I don't regret for a second. Like, I may not talk to everybody that I used to, just because like I don't have as much of the time, and we may have drifted apart, which is natural. But this is one of the games I definitely don't regret for a second being able to put time into and play. Alright. Must be an adventure Baderon promised to send along. Or Zematia, was it? You honored his word, so that's a good start. I'm Stelwern, the old bastard, as Baderon likely described me, and this here's my humble orchard. Good number of the lads and lasses working here once terrorized the high seas. And if you're wondering why I employ these scrags, well, they used to crew my pirate ship. But the calamity did for a ship like it did so many others, and I was sore wounded into the bargain. To feed myself my crew somehow, and Admiral Merle's initiative to get us landlocked buccaneers work in the field seemed too fine an offer to refuse. Who the hell is this? On turns I could take the pirate away from the sea, but you can't take the sea away from the pirate. A lot of my books just never took to tend the soil, you see. Fortunately, a botanist I called in to train them have a ring in their hands in black despair. So much work piling up, I need a tougher soul like you to step in and help where it's needed. Sure. Money. Need 5 boots. I'm basically doing these quests so I can just get like a decent set of gear. There we go. I just need to hit like level 5 ideally. Dress to call. Yep. Need to get head, body, hands, legs, and feet. So everything on the left side needs to be a level 5 or more. Which is reasonable. Oh, thank God they're also getting rid of fucking belts. I'm not sure why that guy's doing that, but you know. There's intricacy in basically any part of the world you want to look into, and I quite like it. Let's tune ourselves here. And while we're starting out here, it's going to be pretty simple, I want to say. Not perfect, of course, but simple. These are the right tickets. Ow. My back hurts. I think the goal for today's stream is to see if we can get to the first dungeon and see if we can make it there. Also, what the hell? Yo! Hold on, what are you wearing? Crypt Lurkers, Dome and Steel, what's your... Zervin! Okay, that's fucking rad. Pepita's gonna catch up. That's not bad. Like, as you can tell, one of my favorite things to do is just walk around and see what people look like. Just fit check people. And very rarely, like, even though I know I'm not, like, much of anything to work off of, I quite like doing it this way. It gets worse when once we get to Ul'dah, because there's gonna be so many people there. The Limsa here is usually pretty safe. Aww. Role player. Your armor slaps, ma'am. Like, one of my favorite things to do in this game, quite frankly, is just walk around, find ways to take nice screenshots of myself. Or screenshots of the world itself. It's quite nice. Oh, right. Derp. When we're in zone. Okay, I think that's 5, 5, 5. That's 5, so I just need hands and head, and I think I'm ready to go off of that. I don't suppose you have a mission for me that gives me... Nope, you do not. It's telling me to run drugs, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, like, we're not going to have too much of, like, fashion to work off of, sadly. Which is fine when we start off. I'm not really, like, fussed about that. Yep. Okay. Who the hell is Sulkweb? Hello? Where are you? Hello? Who are you? Cool. Oh, you're downstairs. Okay. Fair enough. Like, how do I put this? This game definitely doesn't make me feel like I have wasted my time playing, which is nice. Megala Crab now. Yeah, that's fine. These are guns. These are... Hold on a second. These are actually just guns. There's guns down here. Okay, you know what? Oh, I'm a little upset about that. Still mad we didn't get pistols, but you know. We got machinists, but not the same way I would have wanted personally. That's in lower. Tempest, okay. Works. Got it. A lot of navigating. Thankfully, again, it's not things I haven't done before and will not ever do. It's quite comfy, actually. Nice, I could turn my brain off and do things. I'm glad you guys are here for it. So, actually, while I'm thinking about it, let me real quick run y'all an ad break. And let me get up and stretch real quick, and I will be right back. There we go. It's going this way, right? Yeah, it is. God, I cannot wait till we get to the point where the main story quest can be voiced. As much as I like doing the voices, I am worried I'm not going to do a good enough job, Smile. Ah, there we are. So we can use P key. Nope. Our next skill is 10. That's where we also get our tank stance. We still have some time to go, sadly. But we are making progress faster than I anticipated, because we're at 7. Just gotta go in here, hit that. Hope that none of the cane toads notice us. There we go. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay. Well, it's also easy to look at things and communicate what it's asking you to do. Put that ring around like a location that is basically just a notification of, hey, you're going to be fighting people in here. Duty calls. This will pull us into a side thing. How do I fight 3 of these? Alright. Thankfully, these are going to teach us the very, very basics of how these mechanics work. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'll let Soul Whip... Oh, Soul Clip... Yeah, Soul Clip will handle that. I just need the tank. Heal me. Please. Heal me. Heal me. Hey. There we go. Also teach you about prioritization because we cannot punch that Island Megala Crab. But thankfully the game will do it for us. Attacked. Hello? Ooh, Makohito Gunblade. Stop KSing me. Eh. There we go. All right. I mean, I could, but, like, that's not the point. There we go. Easy enough. That's the lower decks. Why am I tired? They look cool. Alright. Thankfully, this is going to be pretty simple. Like I said, questing is not terribly complex. It's point to point. So, starting off is, again, not going to be the most interesting part. Like, we haven't even started with the Scions or anything like that. And that's fine, because we're literally just here to get acquainted with the world and everything. Like this is, I think, a fish herbalist. Sells various herbalism things, but we don't need to worry about that because we're not doing herbalism yet. We could do alchemy, but that requires us to be able to get to the different places. In the meantime, though, let's get our new weapon. There we go. Okay. I need a head patch or gloves. Actually, I'm going to go with gloves. Yeah, there we go. And there's Rampart. And now we start learning how to actually start learning how this shit works. Now here's the thing. I need to go and get this lad some headgear before we continue on. Because apparently Stelwern is not a fan of me walking around with this. But I only need to wear it for only a tiny bit, so. So, Aetheryte Plaza. Go. Yeah, I'm not gonna be terribly like fussy about starting slow on this, because quite frankly, a lot of the fun of this game is taking it at your own pace. Like one of the cool things about it is that we fancy ass hat. One of the cool things is that we can literally just go as fast as we want or slow as we want. We're not gonna miss any content. I need not the jeweler. Tradecraft, Apothecary, Culinary, and Battlecraft. There we go. Need that. Sample War Gear. 1 to 9. Literally all we need is just this eye patch. Because all the rest of it we already have, thankfully. Could use that, but I'm not going to need it for a sec. Could sell all this. We're not going to be doing Leathercraft yet. I really want to see if I can focus on the main story quest first. Wait, did I upgrade the... Oh yeah, it is. This is the new War Axe. Okay. There's a Pride Ball... What's today? The 8th? Next week. I think it's pretty rad. Alright. Now we can run back to Summer... Ma'am. Ma'am. You're going to see me do a lot of that, quite frankly, but purely because Rogadin women in this game are very, very, very pretty to me. That's why my main is a Rogadin. Alright, what was I doing? I want to take a look through here, see if there's any fancy... Tin Advocate we don't need yet. That's Arcanist, and I don't really care about doing Arcanism yet. So instead, I think we're at level 8. It's not going to be terribly messy much, so let's go teleport to Summerford. Thankfully, teleport's not limited by the cooldown period. There we go. Like I said, this is going to be a slow start. Don't worry. I am totally okay with that. Okay. Guess I'm picking up shovels. But this game also has like a really cool consistency when it comes to its community too. Which sounds weird for me to say, but like... Oh, wait, hold on. I need to actually put that eye patch on. There we go. There we go. Little laws lamp, but they respect strength, and by looks of you, I'd say you have a little trouble getting their attention. Thank you. Now, see, you might notice that I currently already have the Bronze War Axe from doing the Way of the Marauder, so I can instead just go get the Elegant Bronze piece. I can just do that instead. And this is where we're going to start doing the actual plot. Anything that has this little, like, image out here, whatever it is plot. Good to hear. And I shall lay before you the sorry tale. You all have heard rumors of the abductions. I, citizens, have been disappearing from every corner of Limsa Laminsa as if plucked from the face of Hydaelyn, boots and all, by an unseen hand. And what's that got to do with Summerford Farms, you might ask? Well, that remains to be seen, but a selection of ripe, unsavory fellows with azure tattooed faces has been creeping up to the edge of the field and spying on my yeoman. I thought anyone would enjoy being scrutinized by such savages at the best of times, but the farmhands are convinced that they're the kidnappers of the rumor, come for their hides. Needless to say that they're besides themselves with worry, and their work's suffering for it, which is the very last thing I need when my old crewmen are still getting used to their new jobs. To struggle to get them to leave the farmhouse of a morning. So as I say, where you come in. Will you be willing to investigate these tattooed thugs for me? Good lad. The sooner we get to the bottom of this, the sooner the place will start to resemble a working farm again. Suggest you again having a look along Seasong Grotto. Reports are be believed our unwelcome visitors have occupied the place. Careful though, Tia. Couldn't say for sure what manner of miscreants we are dealing with here. If they are the kidnappers, well, just be on your guard, okay? Let me real quick take this off, put that on. Wish we could wear both, but this game is not kitted for that, sadly. Part of the thing I'm really hoping that the game is able to start doing once Endwalker comes out is I really hope they're able to sit there and go, hey, can we get an engine update? And I'm hoping somebody will be able to give them one. Purchase weapons, blah, blah, blah. Just sell this. Armory chest. Sell. I don't really need any of that. Don't really need the earrings, though. I am going to keep those Alamegan earrings. Technically, the Aetherite earrings already do better for them, but I'm not terribly fussed by it. Damn. Celestial Dance is an 8-year strong lore binding and tribal theme, Seeker of the Sun and Keeper of the Moon. Oh, nice! Nice. That's a Makode Discord. Very cool. It's for tribals. That's cool. I didn't know they had that. See, that's what I mean. It's like there's plenty of actual what's it called? There's plenty of like roleplay friendly communities here. Wait, nope. What? That one is bad news? Okay, never mind then. I sadly do not know for sure because I've never been in one of those things aside from like the larger ones. I'll tell you why later. Fair enough. Like I believe you. I'm just like I didn't know. Also good to see you. FC. Really? That's weird. Go, and that takes care of that. Because we oh, okay. Well, that's salt on their end. Oh, god damn it. There you go. I don't know, like I try to not pay too much attention to beef unless it's like people are being incredibly toxic about it. Like if it's private / personal beef, then like I'll look at it, but if it, I don't know. It do not make sense to me why someone would go, let's ban everybody from an FC. It was really bizarre. Fair enough. Sure seems bizarre to me, honestly. Goes to show that this community still has its very big share of people being dumb? Question mark? Let's check out because tribal cultivator. Yep, I remember that you said that. Yep. I'm just here for the XP, man. Thank you. Give me that orange juice. You got more? I don't want to go that far. Let's just start working on Grotto. When do I get mounts, by the way, Katie? Is it level 15 once you do all the, like, sign up with a grand company and all that shit? Mounts, specifically. Level 20? After the Ifrit quest. Got it. Okay. Oh, Sea Song. Right. Sea Song is when we meet Beistola. It's time. There we go. Bogey. And 3 of those? Okay. Actually, not making terribly slow progress, all things considered. I just hope it keeps up until like Stone Vigil or something, because if it like does the whole 4-level like drought that Stone Vigil had, then I'm gonna shit a brick. Instance battle, blah blah blah. Yep.
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone.
There she is! Oh, yeah, you want to talk about him?
Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Limsa Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back.
Are you sure you like him because he's a Tia? Smile.
Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark.
I don't remember this having voice acting last time.
Perhaps not.
Nice.
As I suspected, the etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence.
When did they add voice acting to this
Nor
part?
is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked. But who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret?
Well, I'm...
Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be.
Y'shtola with the stick that she picked up off the ground and be with an actual war axe. Let's do it. My fucking god, I just instinctively ran behind it just to pull it. Oh my fucking god. Look at me out here going, yeah, I'm gonna spin the fucking target. Really? Pay attention to me. Bogey. There we go. Oh, Jesus, more of them. Oh, these are sixes. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. I fucked up. I've been tanking too much, I think, because I just... Actually, I wouldn't say too much. I just immediately hopped into Unga tank mode. Oh, I don't like the way that fucking rippled. Yeah, I don't like that.
Phew.
But yeah, Zenma, welcome my boy, the rocker boy, the I wouldn't say rebel so much as, I don't know. I have yet to figure him out completely as a character. I know his entire thing is I need him to get to Dark Knight so he can do greatsword bullshit.
Hear, feel, think.
Oh no.
Crystal bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one.
Smiles.
A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
I'm trying to remember if the crystal formations like had a meaning. Like their explicit shapes like meant something, but I forget.
By
And
thy
it,
deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart.
Butt rocket. Y'all ever just pick a fucking crystal up in a cave and just fucking trip out?
Awake again, are we? Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought. See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable. In any event, you seem much recovered from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether? I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh! Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations. I must continue my investigation.
You're not gonna tell me what it is?
In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business. The days ahead promise little rest, I fear. May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
No, come back, please. I miss you already. That's pretty as shit. Hold on. Camera, please. Don't look at me. I'm an idiot. Fuck it. Alright, going back to Stelwart at Summerford. So, nah, I shouldn't ask like plot questions because I know most of the plot at this point. But I'm playing through this like to get an idea of like what the progression is supposed to be again, and also how they trimmed it down, and the plot too, of course. And knowing what we know about Endwalker, part of me is sitting here worrying, about that now. Though also part of me thinks they didn't think that far ahead. So IDK. Move that over there. A blade from a pull from the back of a creature you slew at the cave, huh? I had agreed that such a knife would be a part of any seafaring man's kit. Starting to think these ruffians are pirates, come to lure my farm hands back to a life of plunder. Sorry they didn't take kindly to your appearance on their doorstep instead of matting Gubu on you. The pirates have been adding to their numbers of late. I best warn the lads and lasses in my employ to be on guard against their schemes. You met someone else at the grotto. A woman with strange contraption. Ah, Y'shtola. She's been in Limsa Laminsa for a good while now. Her studies of the Aether often bring her out to Summerford, so her presence at the grotto is hardly unusual. She's an odd-looking lass, I grant you, but she's not the kind to associate with kidnappers. You may take my word on that. Where trust should be lacking is in those yeomen of mine who have yet to wholly relinquish their pirate past. The temptation to return to the free and easy life of a buccaneer may prove too strong to resist. Yeah, my thanks to you. If it weren't for the efforts of stalwart adventurers like yourself, this farm would be in a far worse state than it is. So you keep on lending your talents to those in need, huh? Help bring Lims to the brighter future she deserves. Potion. These eye drops I'm literally never going to use. Cecil Severin is a lot never around when there's work to be done. Sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but then the rapscallions would never learn. I'm up and letting know someone would like a word, and don't take no for an answer. Yep, I know this one. Where are you? Where are you? When do we get to Chocobo Keeps yet? Level 10, right, okay. Where are you? Not in here. My Tom. Oh, right, hold on. Where this guy was. He was like right over here? Yep, there we go. Fine, keep working on finding them. There we go. I'm leveling way faster than I anticipated with this run. Like, I'm already nearly at level 10, and it's only been like 2.5 hours. Nothing being skipped or anything. Which is surprising to me. It feels a lot smoother, that's for sure. I'm not really feeling the difference yet in terms of actual stats, but you know that's true. Yeah, fuck yourselves, Everin. Oh, wait. Hold on, I forgot I have minions. Minion time. Ancient, elegant designs were discovered in recent years by adventurers returned from the Crystal Tower. That gives me some fucking... That's so cute. And last guy is somewhere over here, I think. There you are. I never know how they want us to pronounce these names. Wands on Slaughter. Why are they mad that they have to work? I don't like Old English? Also looks how it sounds. Oh, you mean pronunciation. Yep. Sorry. My brain had like looked at it going, what are you talking about like Old English? And did not piece together that I had asked the question and half expected a response. So I'm dumb. That's threatening as hell. Ooh, hey. Okay, go doubt Severin. Where's my sprint? I need my sprint. It's taking forever. Please. Thank you. Oh my god, Zemma, you were so slow. Cannot wait until I get the chance to be able to do all this shit. Fucking fly through this shit. But yeah, Zemma is someone... Oh, hey! Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Tsubasa Condon. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. He yells him up the street without a paddle. Doubt. We're currently doing a 1-2 max level run of the main story quest of Final Fantasy XIV in an effort to play through it again for Endwalker when it comes out. What's this now? Stillborn sent you for the oranges. Huh. So the bugger had known all this time. What does it matter anyway? Listen, you're one of those goody-goody adventurer types, right? Go rescue me mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. Dickhead. Thank you very much for following, Tsubasa. I appreciate it. Right. Hostile presence? Yeah, you can eat my entire deck. Dark Mage. What's this about Dark Mage? Oh, yeah, that's a minion of light. It's supposed to be one of the 3 sprites from... Yeah, it is funny. I don't know if it's random or not. I can try. Give me a second. Because I know it's Black Mage... Yep, there's Fighter. Wally himself. Oh, is that why all of our gear is colored red? Okay. It's random. Cooked dodo. Stares at Corgi. Alright. There you go. I wouldn't turn any down, that's for sure. I am willing to accept gifts. Yeah, it's pretty easy to find me. I'm Tsubasa. I'm currently doing a Marauder on my way to do Warrior. I'm gonna be my playthrough right now is I'm gonna be tanking pretty much mainline. I may do some Dragoon, maybe. Like, my main thing is I want to make sure I'm playing classes I haven't already played on my main character. Just for, you know, ease of, hey, this is new to me and to y'all too. But since my main right now is Gunbreaker on my main character, I'm doing Warrior because I'm used to tanking at this point. Then Dragoon for my main DPS. I may pick up healing, but I'm not very good at it. Also, out of curiosity, Tsubasa, which ones do you play? Eh? What? Hold on. Okay. You don't have this game? I'd say you might want to look into it. It's free. How do you see me? How do you see me? Behind you in the sky. I ain't seen shit. Do not lie to me. Oh, there you are. Hi. There's Katie Cat. Fuck you, I'm not trash. I mean, I'll take whatever you got. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Sure, I'll take it. I appreciate it, thank you. You didn't need to, but I do appreciate it. Amount of alligator. No, we're not. I'm not taking any more goddamn avocados from you. Get away from me. No. I would just give you eels at that point. You know that. Like at that point, you just deserve eel. No, get away from me. No. Help me. She's just angrily dancing at me. You can't hurt me. You know this. Oh god, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck. Besides, I don't think I can eat raw avocados, can I? Like, some of the mats I know you can eat plain, but like I don't think avocados are one of them. You're still following me. Hold on. Actually, while you're here, give me a second. Yeah, you can. They're XP food. Fair enough. Friend me. Friend me. Friend me. Friend me. Friend me. Thank you. I'm gonna see if I can get to Sestasha. What is the first thing? Is it Sestasha or what is first? You are lurking behind me, Fido. It's Sestasha, yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get to Sestasha in this stream and then see how. Why though? Monka S. Help. Help. Some random cat girl just started to fucking phase into me. Help. Help. Ow! But yeah, Tsubasa, Ishana over there is one of my friends that got me into 14. And she's one of my closest friends in the chat. She is a cute cat girl. Never said she wasn't. I said she started phasing into me and I was very scared. Yes, you. Tsubasa, by the way, if you're wanting to get this game, it is actually it has a free trial that is not time limited. If you have Steam, PS4, or PS5, it is available to play there and it's cross-platform. You can get it by I think freetrial.finalfantasyxiv.com or just Google it and it should have links to it. And it allows you to play all of the main storyline from level 1 to FC's buffs up and join that business and everything. I'm actually going to see if I can make a FC on Zenma because I want to see if I can make one with Blake. Blake's been really wanting to run a cafe, and I kind of want to see if I can get enough people to run one. Not that I don't want to run with the FC, but I also want to experience how an FC is run from start to finish. So I figure, might as well do it myself too. All right, but yeah, Tsubasa, it's definitely a game worth checking out. I have made a lot of good friends that I would not be here today without. Katie Cat definitely being one of them. And this game has been a very big part of my life for the last 4 to 5 years. And it's been also very respectful of my time, which I think is really nice. Hempenactin, yep. There's level 10. And I got my beast gauge. I'm here for guidance, and I'm glad you are. Please don't think I'm not doing it because I don't like you. It is literally just I won't. Bleh! Let me on. How did you get the whale already? What the fuck? Pillion. Where am I? Am I just in the whale? Is that what the lore is? It's out in the shop. It's out front. You're in his butt. No! I have been eaten. Also, space whales. Oh, Jesus. That dropped fast. Oh, hey, what is this too? Overpower is my sweep, right? Yeah, it's my sweep. Okay, let's queue for extra, so back I go. Have fun with expert. Smile. No, my XP bonus. No. Okay, that's what I thought overpower was for. Finally, we get dimension for our things. But yeah, like if you have played other Final Fantasies and you have like an interest in playing it, Tsubasa, I would definitely say give it a shot. Oops. I don't mean like shill as hard as I can for this game, but I think it's worth shilling for. So, I will not shut the fuck up about it. Very good game I've been playing for almost 6 years now. Yep. I think those two are getting started too. Like, you have to keep in mind, it is definitely a game that is meant for if you are the type that likes tab target MMOs. Because if you're more a fan of action RPGs, this one may not be for you. Which is fine. Hence why I always recommend, if you are into this kind of stuff, try the free trial first. Black Loam, just a bit, consider Stalk Soaring. Yep. Go talk to Rotida. There we go. I have poofy arms, because accents are dumb. But yeah, no, genuinely, it is my favorite MMO that I put time into. I do not regret a single month, or... Let me rephrase it. I have put 1,800 hours in, and I am prepared to put more hours in just to make the just to make it work, or not to make it, but just to do another run of the main story. Gurkon's got a head of cabbage if you think I'm fetching many black loam. If you dare to pinch some from the cookpot, then be my guest. Just mind you don't get trampled upon by the aurochs that dwell there. 1, 2, 3 bushels worth. Take the black loam to Farewell at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. I am. What is black loam again? That's fertilizer, yeah? Hello, cat girl. Okay, you're a new cat girl too. And again, free is definitely a better starting price than buying the game, buying the expansions, and then figuring out you don't like it. Like, there is definitely a lot of improvement that can be done in the engine-wise, but for everything that it needs to be improved, there's enough here that I think can keep a ton of people that invested in the game. It's pretty simple to explain in some regards in terms of what the moment-to-moment things do, is that you're pushing buttons to get effects, etc., so forth, like most tab target MMOs are. But the fun of it is definitely in the variety of sorry, not the variety, what's the word I'm looking for here? In how well it is done. That's a better way to put it. Engine overhaul has been confirmed, just a matter of when. I know. I'm hoping it's soon because what's it called? NGS is coming out tomorrow for PSO2, and I think that's its main competitor in Japan. And in terms of just pure amount of people playing it, and it sure as hell NGS looks so nice. Maybe 7.0 if I had to guess. I think so too. Like, I would not be surprised if the process of Endwalker and everything it's done is like, all right, we're done with this world, now yeet into the next. Like, new world, new look, new mechanics, all that stuff. At least that's my thought. I don't know how much money that Square Enix is willing to throw at it, but given the reaction to Endwalker and how everybody's been hype about it, and how it feels like the company has finally kind of went, you know what, fuck it, roll with it, and they're down with it, I highly doubt that they're not going to give them enough money or time to be able to do it. But it's going to have to be along the same lines as NGS for PSO2, where it explicitly needs that much time and everything. Oh, Miller's Rest. Oh, Tiller's Rest, right, okay. I know where that is. Like, we're already at level 10, which means I can go back and get the next Marauder's quest. If I don't make it to Sasasha, that's fine. I don't really mind. Because we're already got 3 hours. Hello? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that big dude? Oh, it's a hunt target. It's an Amalja. What's an Amalja doing in Lanasha? The hell? Weird. It's yeah, that's an Amalja. Mamalja. Got it, got it. Wakata. That guy's fucking dead. It is Tiller's Rest. Sorry, middle LN Tiller's Rest around Whisper Canyon. Yep. It's a level 50. I don't imagine you'll have any issue clearing it. It's probably a B rank, I have to guess. Fog. Oh, it's an A rank. Cool. I don't know. I don't do hunts. Hunts are notoriously hard to do on this data center. A lot easier now. What happened? Did what's his face get called out? We do them in hunt trains. Right, you mentioned that. Right. Killing, only killing. Bind the hand that feeds them. Occurs a lesson of being stored. Sail when I won't fight no more. Need to bring back our farm tools and. Oh, okay. That's not a bad thought process. Sup, fucker? Oh, Jesus. Problems that have been happening. Oh, jeez. Overpower. This is what's called an overpull, ladies and gentlemen. I fucked up. Is that fucking Blue Mage too? What's he doing here? There we go. I don't know why, but I had a sneaking suspicion, like as soon as this, like a gang in over my head, that I was gonna go, It's cool that they do hunt trains. Which reminds me, I'm gonna need like one of y'all to show me around how to do Baja. Is it just like Eureka now? Severin was stealing tools. Fuck that dude. Baja's better Eureka. Okay. Because Eureka was already trying to kill me. That's because I was bad at it, but you know. But I heard like Baja is like genuinely fun. I just haven't put time into it yet. It's like I'm trying to like moderate the amount of time I spend on here, because if I'm not careful, I will spend forever playing this game. And as much as I like that prospect, that prospect is dangerous for someone like me. Ooh, belts. Pirates make enough with our tools. Well, not to take matters into his own hands. Last thing I need is blood on my crops. Oh, damn, the Severin thinks he could take us for fools. His treachery won't go unpunished. It's my Labrys. We're at level 11. God damn. $3 hours, too. He's about heavier. You're not familiar with the schedule Severin by now. Scheme's scapegrace is at it again. The letter came from me, skulking about in that manner he does when he's up to no good. Ran up his roads and bugger off with no word to anyone. Growing accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. He ain't exactly damn it. Well, last time I had words with him, he didn't look defiant so much as hunted. I'm thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he wanted. Hoping he might hunt his sorry hide down and drag it back here before it's too late. If a little curve bites me every chance he's get, but I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. Suppose he reminds me a bit of my younger self. If I say I'd rather he didn't come to a sticky end. So I was trying to find him. I tried asking him why at the Aetherite. She was the last one to see him. Dare I say she will be able to tell you where he was headed? Like I'm the most I'm surprised about right now is that like with all the buffs I have up, like eating is actually the difference between clearing and, or like leveling in a significant fashion or just doing things. I was set for Wood Whisper Canyon not long ago, singing about drinking themselves stupid. Or cheeky thought said I should join them. I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was that pickled their brains. If I I'll try and give him a cuff around the ear for me, will you? All right. I know where this is going. I think the first time I did this run, 2016 actually. This definitely doesn't feel that much like busy work anymore. Not just because of speed of level, but like I'm genuinely surprised that like it feels a lot smoother than it did. Maybe this is still because it's just getting started in terms of actual leveling progression. And I feel like I'm just at the right speed, that I'm always having something I can do. It's nice. Apply my potions, blah blah blah. God's fear man, say you're heaven sent. It just sells from the next power ball. Some sorry soul will owe you its lousy life. Pity the poor fish out of the water. For it to fight just to kill time, but now I believe some truly have a death wish. There's nothing can be done about that. Can't make them want to live. All we can do is hope they learn to love the land. Yep. Yes, sir. How are we doing on all this? Oh, right. The Labrys. Lesbian sign all around. Wait, hold on. I should probably put that up back again. So I don't need the strength 1 buff on that. But yeah, if you're watching and you're wondering, you know, what this series is going to look like, you're going to see a lot of my friends from my FC that have shown up. And friends of mine that are, you know, from real life or any place that I've known them from. Surprisingly, this caught a lot of my friends' attention. All the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that slippery bastards done. Couldn't take the lads out for the drink, only ladies should train to a bloody trap, but don't get no lower than that. Of course, the lawyers stay a step ahead of old Severin, so I was ready, but the others weren't so lucky. You gotta help them. I know. This is the way. Like, once we get to the point where I'm going to be able to do routines and not routines, roulettes. There we go. Then we're going to be able to start seeing more of my friends show up. Aramis? Aramis! Okay, I know that name. So it's been a white flag for all the good it did. Hope you fare better, or the sorry bastards in there are done for. Look at these fools. There we go. True knave, you betray even yourself, Severin. Ow. We are prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provide us with suitable replacements. That was the agreement. Yet your last change of heart leaves your debt to us unpaid. Few are those who betray the Serpent Reavers twice. You will not do so a third time. Covering behind your protector would only delay the inevitable. Armless wretch, your life is all you have left. And worthless though that be, we shall take it. Fuck this dude. Fuck this dude. O mournful voice of creation, send unto me a creature of the abyss, my thrall to command, that I may smite mine enemies. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Punch Golem in the dick. Let's go. I fucked that start. You're strong. Are you strong enough to withstand this? Get a load of this. Yeah, I can withstand it. AoEs. I know how to do this. It's so sorely tested. It's a golem. It's a clay golem. What do you mean? Fuck you. I eat these for breakfast. Easy. Woo, woo, woo. There's no ordinary adventure. Think. Did I not get a earth crystal off of it? Snake slithered away. I'm only glad he did not have the chance to sink his fangs more deeply into you. And the headaches begin. Belong to any of the known Lominsa factions. Whom then do they serve? The Beast Tribes? Surely not. Even their appearance coincides all too neatly with the recent surge in Sahagan and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is, what? Maybe the tribes are planning to summon their primals? 12 help us if it should prove so. Limsa would be hard pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone two. But all is yet speculation. I must needs find evidence. Seas continue to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall. And by him, the world becomes ever more unlike itself, as Lewis Wall foretold. Coming of chaos has rendered the laws of nature immutable, blurring the boundary between the ethereal and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals. But they are not here yet. Though time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never the creed of Starlion ring more true. Dream that possessing means to see Aether, yet now that I do begin to take it for granted. How swiftly do the wonders of Starlion seem commonplace. Aw. Yeah, for you. Have you come for the festivities? Say the Maelstrom officially makes that great hole in the sea its training grounds. Join in the celebrations. Servants in the etheric flood, but whence does it emanate? Seasong Grotto, perhaps. Ow, my brain. What have we here? Can you walk? Says I. Regrettably, no, he eluded me. Understood. I will inform the Commodore. Collapse from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered? Severin here has apprised me of all that transpired. His account shed some light upon you how he came to be attacked by a golem of all things. A golem is a mindless automaton, inert save when commanded to be otherwise. Common pirates could not hope to control such a thing so arcane are its workings. But then these two wretches are no common pirates. They are the minions of the Sahagan. As for their purpose, well, I should get to the bottom of it. First, I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Stelron will be wondering what has become of him. And you too, for that matter. I will bear word to him of your preservation, but I am certain he would like to thank you in person. Pray, pay the man a visit. He told me of you, but he pretends he did not tell you of me. My name is Stola. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the aether in the hope that I might offer up some clue as to our predicament. And my wife. Everyone's wife, technically. I'd say I owed you my life, but I don't cover it. Wherever you, my friends, would be dead and all. That I can never repay, but I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farms and I'll face the consequences. For reasons I cannot fathom, you seem... Forgive me. Mayhap we shall have a chance to speak again when I have marshaled my thoughts. Till our paths next cross. Farewell. I love how her outfit in the first is, or here is just literally just a tunic and jeans. That's it. Doesn't need to be any fancier. Doesn't need to be any different. Just a tunic and jeans. It don't matter. It doesn't need to matter. Actually, come to think of it. I have to do that next. What time is it? 7:10? I don't want to end it here, but like, I feel like this is a good place to call it. At least for the day, because we completed the first major like story beat once we talk with Stelwarn. I don't know. And hopefully this can be my flow from now on. If I make it a priority to like beat through all of this, then, you know, who knows? Maybe this can go far quicker than I think it will. I mean, shit, we're already at level 11. It's already impressive as it is. Leveling 1 to 11 in 3 hours? Maybe less, counting for doing the narration. It's pretty good. I love his little tiny feats. Who dis? Ninja. What are you doing over in Summerford then? Big. Big. Big lady. Stroller delivered Severn a bit ago. Tells you your heroic deeds precede you. Best came shuffling back too, the lot of them sporting the same haunted expression. It's me who's to blame for that and the rest. I was once a serpent reaver. Thrall of Sahagan. 7 hells. Reavers may look and sound and act like pirates, but they're not but the fishbacks flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws, but there are things we won't do. We've got a code, see, but the Reavers never followed a word of it. A few years back, they started snatching law-abiding Laminsons. I had only just taken my oath when our captain bent the knee to his new Sahagan masters. I knew I had to get away. So I crept off one night, got myself a new name, and found myself a new harm. Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets don't stay secret for long around here, and word soon spread, all the way back to the sea. Penalty for desertion is death, but the reefers offered me a way out instead, my freedom exchanged for my mates. The letter. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking, too busy soiling myself. But you got there in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. It didn't say little to me, but I heard him talk of how you stood up to the Reavers at last, of how you tried to give their life to save theirs. Be that as it may, no dude, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your brethren. I know that. I do. So I'm going to hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm no more. You'll hear no arguments from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides us back here someday. There'll always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad. And always be here in your debt, Stelwarn. I owe you a debt too, Rizemma. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for saving the enemy farm. Could I ask one more favor of you? It'd be this. Tell Badron what's happened from start to finish. I'm certain you put in a good word for Severn if he knew the whole story. He's one of the few people I know who the Yellow Jackets will listen to. I reckon I've asked all I can possibly ask of you. Safe travels, son. And that wraps up the Summerford quest. I could do a few of the more of the quests around here, but at this point, like, we've cleared most everything. I think it might be wiser just to run the Chocobo Keeps and everything. Chocobo Porters. Yep, hire Chocobo Porter to get back to Limsa, because I'm lazy. These things will run you faster. And will save you some time when you're starting out. Costs a lot less than teleportation, because teleportation is at minimum 100. And at later levels, when you're warping across entire things, it can get really expensive really quickly if you don't make a point of making money. Of course, you can travel by foot, of course, but like, it's quicker to do it this way, and you don't have to worry about fights. But soon enough, we'll have our own chocobo. Though it's probably going to take a bit. There we go. Is that Big the Cat? That's Big the Cat. Hell yeah. Lace Strawberry, part of the lads. Where are you? Cat. Nanaki, yes, yes. Who are you? Namazu, Melee Falcon. Okay. Anyway. Oh, that's a lot of people. What the fuck? Dark Knight, level 70. It's a lot more people than I anticipated. You look pretty! Interesting. I've actually come across some role players. Well, yeah, his life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. But you needn't worry yourself over young Severin. The Yellow Jacket has Zan's punishment is a good mate of mine. I asked him nicer what can be willing to commute the land sentence from hanging to Keelhaul, and kindly gent that he is. I'm only jesting with you. I see he's treated fair. Sounds to me like you've done everything will stir when asked of you and more. Just finding me just finder's fee in the process. Much obliged, lad. Fuck you, dude. As for a reward, well, she's a lonely lady, this drowning wench of mine. How'd you keep her fancy for a spell with free room and board? Hell yeah. Venture's a trying business, after all. The hens that don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken ones. Taken from me, finding it nearly so much for him when you nurse and shadow none. Got that? Good. There'll always be a free bed for you, so make use of it. These are not as useful as they used to be back in the day, but they're still useful. Not that you have much time for lying around with all the leaves you be doing. Or did I mention? I'm putting your name down for leaves. A guild draws all manner of clients, offering all manner of odd jobs. Honestly, you'd be amazed how much a folk will pay to avoid it doing an honest day's labor. Give Tamokri a shot whenever you feel like making a few extra gil. She'll always have some task or other for you to do. These are repeatable quests that we can do. And all above board, because you're wondering. We're capable of stay on the Admiral's right side in here. I'm like some pirates I could mention. Tell you, if it had turns out they had all to do with them kidnappings of sudden house to pay. I proper believe in reckoning. Mayhap that's what Limsa needs, though. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat to ride it. We'll have time for such talk when you're well and rested. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. And the dosh. The Wiggles! The Wiggles! Recommended things will be quests that we can work on when we log in. And I think we have enough to clear the next run. Oh, hey. People are role-playing! Hey! Hey, it's a bunny boy, too. How do you fare, Rosema? Rested and ready to expand your horizons? Well, then, idea where you might might try heading out next. You ever the skylift out in the middle of Lanasha? If you ever visited World Whisper Canyon, they must have been up and down the thing at least once. It's a big bleeding scaffolding attached to the descent. You'll like to see the lads and lasses out there using it to haul cargo go up the cliff face. Hard labor, that. And I can hear they use an enterprise and soul to pick up the odd jobs what no bugger has time to deal with. Track down and legal the operation book by the name of Workrit. And he'll be sure to put you to work on a task or two. So yeah, this is one of the cool things also is that you'll be able to just walk around and see people roleplay. Just in random places. But for now, I think I'm going to actually call it a rest and use the inns as they're supposed to, or intended to be used. In the original version, you had to log out in an inn room, which was really nice for immersion. But in this case, you don't really need to. However, there are some things in here that are useful. Toy chest, which I haven't ever unlocked for some reason. Orchestrion, so you can listen to music that you collect. Crystal bell for when you want to affect your or change your hairstyles and everything, which I'm sorry, look at my man's, he's not going to be able to change that. Though we need to unlock him with a quest, and I think we can soon. Summoning Bell for looking at our retainers, Armoire and Glamour Dresser. We haven't unlocked those yet either. But these are also useful for storing items, but we don't have any we really need to worry about right now. The unending journey here also allows us to go back and re-watch things too. But for now, I think I'm going to call it here. Gonna log out. And we're going to call it here for the day. Once again, thank you very much for joining me today. This day was pretty fun and actually a pretty good chance to show you a little bit about the starting points of Final Fantasy and why we like it. We're going to be playing more tomorrow. We're going to be trying to see if we can start the first instance dungeons and everything. And in the meantime, I'm going to send you off to another Final Fantasy streamer so we can keep the chain going. Give me a second to pull Twitch up and see if I can find one for you. Again, if you liked what you see and you're new to the channel, please feel free to give following a shot. It costs you nothing and you get to be notified of when I stream. And if you have a spare Prime, or if you have the money to do so, it would mean the world to me, but you are never required to sub if you do not have to. Promise you, it is only if you have the spare, I suppose. Please do not feel bad if you can't. In the meantime, give me half a second. Let's see who is streaming. They're far in. Pre-Stormblood. Oh, extra credits is doing stuff. They appear to be new, so I'm going to send you over.
How many years have come and gone since that day?
Actually, I'm going to send you over to Jinkitsu. Jinkitsu is a VTuber that's also playing 14 that is farming relics. Late game progress on it.
For the one that stood alone against the storm.
And give you a little bit of a preview of the later parts of everything. Meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, travelers. Signing off for now.
For the one they called. The warrior of light.
Story. What we're doing, I'm with Dragon Pirate actually. I really want to get the new mount, and so I need to do Emerald as much as I dislike this